What if I told you that the milk you pour into your glass each morning out of habit, comfort, or even nostalgia could quietly be draining your energy, weakening your bones, hurting your heart, and yes, stealing away your confidence in the bedroom? That sounds dramatic, I know, but after over 30 years working with men in their 60s, 70 seconds, and beyond, I've seen this story unfold for too often. Men who still want to feel strong, sharp, steady, but who unknowingly make one small mistake in the kitchen every morning. Not out of carelessness, but because no one ever told them how deeply something as familiar as milk could impact circulation, memory, sleep, and even testosterone levels after 60. You see, bodies change. What supported your health at 30 may slowly turn against you at 65. And some of the most popular milk choices, ones labeled fortified, plant-based, or even heart-healthy, are not helping the way you think they are. In fact, they may be silently doing the opposite. That's why in today's video, I want to walk you through 4 common milks you should avoid after 60, and more importantly, 4 powerful alternatives that can work with your body, not against it. These aren't fads or expensive superfoods. They're simple, affordable options that nourish your heart, protect your joints, support your brain, and yes, naturally enhance the parts of life that matter most to men our age. This is not about guilt. It's about awareness. Because when you understand how these everyday choices affect your hormones, circulation, and long-term vitality, one small change can unlock major improvements in how you think, move, rest, and feel. If you're someone who values clarity, strength, and staying independent as you age, this message is for you. And if you find this kind of honest, science-based advice helpful, I invite you to subscribe to this channel, Green Route 60. That's where I share everything I've learned from decades of practice, so you don't have to guess, struggle, or age blindly. Now, let's begin with the question that may surprise you. What milk is sitting in your fridge right now, and is it truly serving the man you are today? Let's find out. 1. Whole milk. When a childhood comfort becomes a hidden burden, let me start with something many of us grew up trusting: whole milk. Maybe you remember drinking it with breakfast before school. Maybe your father swore by it, claiming it built strong bones and made a man out of you. For years, that was the belief. And for a time, maybe it even felt true. But here's what we now understand. Our bodies after 60 are not the same as they were at 30. They metabolize fat differently. Our arteries are less flexible. Our hormones shift slowly and silently. And what used to feel nourishing can now become a quiet threat. Whole milk contains over 4.5 grams of saturated fat in just 1 cup. It doesn't sound like much, but over time, that fat raises your LDL bad cholesterol, stiffens your arteries, and slows down blood flow. And I don't just mean to your heart, I mean to everywhere blood needs to go, including your brain. And yes, including down there. But that's not all. Many men I see in my clinic don't realize they've become sensitive to lactose. Even if you drank milk your whole life with no issue, as you age, your body produces less of the enzyme lactase. That means milk can now cause bloating, gas, fatigue, or just leave you feeling heavy and sluggish. And those 150 calories per glass, they add up fast. Especially when your metabolism is slowing, your muscle mass is declining, and your joints are starting to protest every extra pound. So I gently ask you, is this glass of milk truly serving the man you are today? Or is it just a habit from a version of yourself you've outgrown? 2. Sweetened condensed milk, the sugar that steals your strength. Now know this one's tough. Sweetened condensed milk is tied to family recipes, warm desserts, coffee traditions. It brings back memories. I understand. I've seen that look in my patients' eyes when I bring it up. But here's the reality. Just 1 tablespoon contains about 10 grams of added sugar. And let's be honest, no one stops at just 1. The problem is that sugar doesn't just affect your waistline. It attacks your brain, your hormones, and your blood vessels. I often explain to my patients, sugar is like rust. Slowly, quietly, it breaks things down. High sugar intake spikes insulin, contributes to insulin resistance, and over time damages the inner lining of your arteries. For men already walking a fine line with prediabetes or type 2 diabetes, even a few tablespoons a day can do long-term harm. What's more, sugar increases inflammation in the body, one of the most underappreciated causes of fatigue, poor circulation, joint pain, and yes, erectile dysfunction. It also feeds the kind of brain fog that makes you forget names, lose your train of thought mid-sentence, or feel like you're not quite as sharp as you used to be. And let's not forget digestion. Sweetened condensed milk is thick and heavy. It slows the gut, bloats the belly, and leaves many men feeling tired after what should have been a simple treat. I'm not here to take away your joy. I'm here to help you protect it, because the best version of yourself, the one who wakes up with energy, clarity, and a quiet confidence, is worth letting go of a little sweetness now and then. 3. Rice milk, the deceptively gentle milk that's failing you. Quietlerous milk sounds harmless, even healthy. It's plant-based. It's often labeled as hypoallergenic, and for many men, it seems like a safe alternative. But what if I told you rice milk might be one of the most misleading products in your fridge? Here's the truth. Rice milk is made mostly of processed white rice and water. That means it's high in carbs, extremely low in protein, and nearly devoid of the nutrients your body needs to stay strong after 60. In 1 cup, you're often getting less than 1 gram of protein. That's not nearly enough to preserve your muscles, bones, or energy levels. Worse, rice is known to absorb arsenic from the soil, and that arsenic doesn't disappear during processing. Over time, it can build up in your system, quietly putting pressure on your kidneys and liver. I've seen lab work from older men who drank rice milk daily without realizing their kidney function was slowly declining. And because rice milk has a very high glycemic index, it spikes your blood sugar almost like soda. That means more crashes, more cravings, and more fatigue. If you're struggling with weight, prediabetes, or low energy, this kind of milk is doing you no favors. I know many men choose rice milk thinking it's light, neutral, or safe. But sometimes gentle on the label doesn't mean gentle on your body. 4. Flavored plant-based milks, health food in disguise. No, it's talk about the sweetened plant milks like vanilla almond, chocolate oat, or hazelnut soy. They're everywhere, often dressed in words like fortified, low fat, or heart healthy. But behind the pretty packaging is something much sneakier. Most of these flavored milks contain 10–15 grams of sugar per cup. That's as much as some sodas. And it doesn't stop there. Many also contain emulsifiers, gums, synthetic vitamins, and artificial flavors, all ingredients that can mess with your digestion, your hormones, and your immune system. Some of the men I see switch to these milks thinking they were making a smart move. But weeks later, they're more bloated, more foggy, and wondering why their energy still hasn't returned. The truth is, your body doesn't care what the carton says, it cares what's inside. If the milk you're drinking tastes like dessert, it's probably not helping your health. And as you age, what you drink should nourish you, not just taste sweet going down. It's now turn our focus from what drains your vitality to what restores it, because not all milk is the enemy. In fact, there are 4 kinds of milk that can become quiet, powerful allies for your health after 60. They may not carry the bold labels or sugary flavors, but they work where it matters, in your heart, your mind, your joints, your hormones, and, yes, your confidence as a man. Let's begin with the most surprising one: fermented soy milk. I know many men hesitate when they hear the word soy. They've been told it's feminine, that it lowers testosterone. But that's simply not true, especially when we're talking about fermented soy milk. This version is easier to digest, rich in probiotics, and contains a complete protein with all 9 essential amino acids. That means it supports muscle maintenance, which is crucial as men over 60 naturally lose muscle mass with each passing year. But fermented soy offers even more. It contains isoflavones, plant compounds that help regulate hormones, reduce inflammation, and improve blood flow. These compounds support memory, cognitive function, and even mood. One patient of mine, Arthur, in his early 70s, started drinking a glass of fermented soy milk every morning. Within a month, he was walking longer distances, sleeping better, and most importantly thinking more clearly. He told me, "Doc, it's like someone turned the lights back on. That's the power of supporting the brain from the inside out." Now, let's talk about unsweetened almond milk, a light and subtle drink that doesn't look like much but quietly protects your heart and sharpens your mind. It's naturally low in calories, contains no cholesterol, and is rich in vitamin E, one of the most important antioxidants for aging brains. Vitamin E protects your neurons from oxidative stress and has been linked to lower risks of cognitive decline. Almond milk also contains healthy monounsaturated fats, similar to those found in olive oil, which help lower bad cholesterol and support better circulation. For men managing their weight, blood pressure, or type 2 diabetes, switching to unsweetened almond milk can be one of the gentlest but most impactful decisions they make. I remember Miguel, a 66-year-old former mechanic, who switched from flavored oat milk to plain almond milk. In 4 weeks, his blood pressure improved, his belly shrank slightly, and he said, "I feel lighter in my body and in my head." Next up is a personal favorite of mine, calcium-fortified oat milk. Many men I treat are quietly worried about their bones. They don't say it out loud, but they feel the stiffness in their knees, the hesitation when rising from a chair. Oat milk, when fortified properly, provides a solid dose of calcium and vitamin D, 2 critical nutrients that help slow bone loss after 60. But oat milk offers something extra: beta-glucan, a soluble fiber that helps lower LDL cholesterol and reduce heart disease risk. And here's what many of my patients don't expect: it also helps with sleep. Warmed gently at night, oat milk has a calming texture and a slow-digesting carb profile that signals your brain it's time to rest. One of my patients, Robert, started sipping it before bed. A month later, he said, "Doc, I don't toss and turn like I used to. I wake up feeling less stiff, more rested." That's not magic, it's what happens when you give your body the raw materials it's been quietly craving. Lastly, let us talk about flax milk, the underdog of the non-dairy world, but in my view, one of the most powerful. Flax milk is rich in ALA omega-3s, which help reduce inflammation, a silent enemy of both physical and sexual health. Chronic inflammation affects your joints, your blood vessels, and even testosterone production. But a daily glass of flax milk can support smoother blood flow, healthier hormone levels, and even better mood and energy. I had a 70-year-old patient named Jim who was struggling with joint stiffness and brain fog. We added flax milk to his morning routine, and just 3 weeks later, he said, "My knees aren't barking like they used to, and I feel more clear-headed too." Flax milk is often fortified with calcium, vitamin D, and B12, making it ideal for energy, bone strength, and nervous system function. It's lactose-free, cholesterol-free, and incredibly easy on digestion. So there you have it, 4 milks that don't just fill your cup, but quietly refill your health. They support your body in the areas that matter most after 60: bone strength, muscle protection, brain clarity, heart health, sleep quality, and yes, your sexual vitality. They're not flashy, they won't taste like dessert, but they work. And when you start your morning with one of them, you're telling your body, "I still care. I'm still in the game." Let's not underestimate the power of a small switch. Just one thoughtful choice, replacing one harmful milk with one that heals, can shift the way you sleep, move, think, and feel. In the next section, I'll help you tie it all together with a gentle summary and an invitation to take your first simple step. Because change doesn't need to be overwhelming. It can begin with one quiet glass and a decision to live the years ahead. Not just longer, but better. Let's pause for a moment. You've just taken in a lot of information. Some of it may have surprised you. Some may have affirmed what you've quietly suspected. Either way, if you're still reading, it means something inside you is awake, curious, maybe even ready. And that's where real change begins, not with fear, with shame, but with awareness. The kind of awareness that lets you look into your fridge tomorrow morning, pick up that carton of milk, and ask yourself with honesty, is this serving me, Or is it simply familiar? You don't have to overhaul your entire life overnight. In fact, I wouldn't recommend it. What I've learned after more than 3 decades walking beside men in their 60s, 70 seconds, and beyond is this: the strongest, most lasting changes begin quietly. One glass, one choice, one small shift that says, I care about the man I am becoming. If you've been drinking whole milk for years, or adding sweetened condensed milk to your coffee, I'm not here to judge you. I'm here to offer something better. A path forward that nourishes your heart, supports your joints, fuels your brain, and keeps you connected to the part of you that still wants to be strong, clear, and confident on your terms. The 4 milks. We've explored together fermented soy milk, unsweetened almond milk, calcium-fortified oat milk, and flax milk are more than just dairy alternatives. They're daily tools. Tools to help you maintain muscle, stabilize blood sugar, sleep deeper, think faster, move easier, and love longer. And here's what I love most about them. They ask nothing dramatic of you, just a quiet invitation to listen to your body and support it, not fight it. To embrace the fact that aging isn't a decline, it's a shift. A chance to nourish differently, live smarter, feel lighter, stronger, and more present in your own life. So, here's my challenge to you, not a burden, just a nudge. This week, choose one. Replace one carton in your fridge. Make one smoothie, one coffee, one warm evening drink using something that supports the man you are now. Try it for 7 days. Observe not just the scale, but your mood, your sleep, your digestion, your mornings. And if you notice a difference, however small, I'd love to hear about it. Drop a comment on the video or simply type, I'm making the switch. Not for me, for yourself, for your health, your clarity, and your sense of control in a world that too often tells men like you to just accept decline. You don't have to accept it. You can move forward one choice, one step, one sip at a time. If this article or video helped you in any way, I invite you to subscribe to Green Route 60. That's where I continue sharing real, honest, science-based advice made specifically for men like you, men who still want to feel good in their skin, confident in their body, and grounded in their choices, because this next season of life, it can be your best. It just starts with what you pour into your glass. Here's to the wiser, stronger man you're becoming with every single sip.